There will come a day when you sit alone in a quiet room. The hum of the world outside will fade, and you'll realize no footsteps are approaching, no door will swing open, no hand will reach in to pull you out. And in that stillness, you might feel a sting, like life has betrayed you. But what if I told you this is the moment the old self dies and the real one is born? Welcome back, my friend. And if this is your first time here, think of this as a conversation between two people who have both tasted the sweetness and the bitterness of reality and are not afraid to talk about it. Today, I'm going to strip away the comfortable illusions. This isn't cynicism, it's clarity. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. And while that truth may feel like a cold wind against your face, it's also the first breath of real freedom. It's the moment you stop outsourcing your power and start reclaiming it. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share a story that may not only change how you see your struggles, it may change how you see yourself. We grow up with the myth that someone will always come, a mentor, a partner, a savior. Movies love this narrative because it sells hope in neat packages. But life isn't a screenplay. Here's the cold truth. Most of the time, no one is coming. Not because people are cruel, but because they're busy surviving their own storms. And here's the comfort that follows. This means you're not defective for being overlooked. You're simply being handed the same test everyone gets. The one that asks, can you stand when no one is holding you up? When you realize this, the air changes. You stop scanning the horizon for rescue. You start scanning it for possibilities. Psychology has a name for this shift, internal locus of control. It's the moment responsibility moves from out there to in here. Studies link it to higher resilience, better problem solving, and ironically, more genuine relationships. Because people sense when you're whole enough not to need them as crutches. But let's be honest, that first step is brutal. It feels like betrayal, even abandonment. And maybe you'll want to play the role of the wronged hero for a while. Tell yourself the world should have helped more. And maybe you're right. But here's the sting. Staying in that role will keep you powerless. Power doesn't grow in pity. It grows in the moments you decide to build. Even if the bricks are heavy and your hands are bleeding. Yes, this is unfair. And no, fairness isn't coming either. But the paradox is this. Once you stop expecting fairness, you start creating freedom. I've seen this in war zones, in hospital corridors, in quiet kitchens where someone's life fell apart overnight. The strongest people weren't the ones who had the most help. They were the ones who learned to be their own first responder. Being your own first responder doesn't mean rejecting help when it appears. It means not structuring your survival around the hope that it will. And here's a secret. When you live this way, you become magnetic. Not in the Hollywood sense, not with the shine of someone waiting to be chosen, but with the gravity of someone who already belongs to themselves. People respect that. Life respects that. There will still be nights when you wish someone would knock on your door. That longing doesn't disappear. But the difference is, you'll know you're okay even if no one does. You'll have a plan, a mindset, a spine. And in that moment, you'll realize you never needed a savior to begin with. You needed the mirror to finally see what you're made of. So if today feels like no one is coming, don't wait for the knock. Light your own damn lantern. Open your own damn door, because the person you've been waiting for has been sitting in your chair all along. I promised you a story. It's not heroic in the Hollywood sense, but it's real. A friend of mine once told me about the night her apartment flooded. 2 feet of water swallowed everything she owned. She called people she thought would come. No one answered. For a while, she just stood there, shivering, phone in hand, heart sinking. That's when she saw her own reflection in the dark water. She didn't look like a victim. She looked like someone deciding. She rolled up her sleeves, moved her furniture herself, made trip after trip with armfuls of soaked books and clothes, stacking them on the highest shelves she could reach. By morning, she was exhausted, aching, and strangely proud. Not because the disaster was over. It wasn't. But because she had proof now. Proof that even at her most alone, she was still enough. Months later, when help finally came in other parts of her life, she received it with gratitude, but without dependence. That's the quiet power no one teaches you. The ability to say, I want you here, but I don't need you to survive. So if today you feel abandoned, don't measure your worth by who shows up. Measure it by how you show up for yourself. Because once you've rescued yourself, every other kindness becomes a gift, not a lifeline. In the end, life isn't about avoiding the storms. It's about building the kind of shelter you can carry with you, so that even if the whole sky falls, you still have a place to stand. No one is coming to save you. But that isn't a tragedy. It's an invitation to step into the role you've been waiting for someone else to play. And once you do, you stop living as a character in someone else's rescue story. You become the author of your own. If this spoke to you, subscribe to the channel, not just to follow me, but to stay connected with conversations that don't shy away from the hard truths. Drop a comment and tell me about a time you had to rescue yourself. You never know who might need to read your story. And thank you, truly, for giving me your time and attention today. It's the most valuable thing you have, and you chose to share it here. I don't take that lightly.